Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I am starting another reading vlog. Basically, I've managed to get my momentum going again for reading and I'm in a big reading mood, so I want to keep that going. So I've decided to set myself a little bit of a challenge. It's not a very big challenge, it's a very small challenge. It's a challenge all the same and it'll keep my reading spirit up, hopefully. So what I want to do is answer the question of whether I can read Mr Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore in 24 hours. I thought it sounded cute, it sounded catchy, and also it should be very, very doable. The book is only about 290 pages, I believe, so technically this should be doable within the day. But I'm giving myself 24 hours anyway in case I want to take breaks, in case I want to chill, so that I'm not forcing myself to read, because again I do not want to get out of this reading spirit that I'm in at the moment. So it is currently 11:45. Plan is to start this book at 12 and give myself to 12 o'clock tomorrow to finish it. I think that's doable and I think it'll make me feel very productive and keep that reading momentum going. So for anyone who doesn't know, Mr Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. So it's basically about a man named Clay Jannon who, due to recession, is forced to leave his job as a web designer, I believe, and out of curiosity takes a job on the night shift at Mr Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. And the final line in the blurb says, "It doesn't take long for Clay to realise that the quiet, dusty book emporium is even more curious than its name suggests." I have been looking forward to reading this book for a long time. I want to know what these strange things are that are happening in this curious, dusty book emporium. I want to get to know the characters in it, and I just love anything, I've said this before, I love anything that's set in the book world, set in libraries, bookstores, anything like that. It just makes me feel so cosy and homey, I guess. So yeah, I don't really have any idea what to expect in here. All I know is that a lot of people put this very high up on their favourite books of all time. It seems to be quite a firm favourite for quite a few people, and I've heard that it's very clever and witty with some very interesting characters. So I am looking forward to diving into this, but first of all what I'm going to do is go and make myself a nice hot coffee and drink that, and then we shall start reading at 12 o'clock on the dot. Okay, so I've read just about 50 pages of Mr Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore so far, and I have absolutely no clue what is going on. So when I started this, I had no idea what to expect plot-wise. I said that at the beginning. I just thought it was going to be this witty book, maybe about people coming in and out of this store and the different people he met. No. There is a lot more to this plot. So he's been working at this bookstore, and then there's like new books that you can buy at the front of the bookstore, which Penumbra decides what they sell and what they don't sell. And then there's like there's these other books at the back that you have to have like a member card to take out, and Clay wasn't supposed to look at them, but him and his friend did. And when you open up the books, it's all like just like jumbled up letters, like as if it's like some sort of code that needs to be worked out or something. So these people come in with their member card, they take one, they read it, and then they read the next one. And like Mr Penumbra's saying that it's like a type of work and they have to be like really invested in reading these books. And yeah, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what these books are about or like where this is going. I really don't know. So yeah, basically that's on me because I had no idea what the plot was going to be. But so far I'm surprised, I'm confused, but I am very, very, very intrigued. Okay, so I'm now just about at the 100 page mark, and I still have absolutely no clue what is going on in this book. Clay has worked out that there is a pattern to how these members take the books out of the bookstore and they all go in the same order, and then he does this weird tech stuff and finds out that the pattern makes a certain image, which is very interesting and very cool, but I still have no clue what it means and I have no idea where the story is going. But all the same, I am still very, very intrigued and I need to know what this is all about. As confusing as it is, I am when I'm reading it just totally getting stuck in this world and just so interested in what is going on. I also really love the whole conversation about books, especially physical books versus technology. So Clay has a friend called Kat who works for Google, and obviously he comes from a web design background, so there's a lot of talk about technology and where it's going and where it is now and where we could be in 100 years time or whatever, juxtaposed with the fact that he works in this very old bookshop with these very old books and these logbooks going back years as well. Yeah, I'm just really enjoying the discussion of that and how we're maybe like losing the importance of books and how books are in danger in some way. So Clay goes to visit Google with Kat and someone who's working there is like, oh, what do you do? He says, oh, I work in a bookstore. And the guy's like, oh, sorry. And then Clay's like, why? And he's like, well, we're basically putting you out of business. So just this idea that like technology, the more technology improves, the more we might lose literature, specifically physical books. And something that I find interesting is Clay repeatedly mentions the fact that even though people love technology and they love their Kindle and everything, people still love the smell of books, and that is something that will never change, which is very true. I love the smell of a good book, but I also just love the feeling of a book, and I will never ever stop loving that, and if that were to disappear, I would be heartbroken. And also the collection of books and having a bookshelf and having them, seeing them all out on your shelf like that, it's just completely different to like looking at your Kindle library or whatever. Nearly 100 pages through, still really enjoying it, still really intrigued. But for now, I need to go to the shops and pick up a couple of things for dinner because I'm making dinner for me, my mum, and Brandon. So I need a couple of ingredients for that. Okay guys, so I've just finished part 1, which was called The Bookstore, and I'm about to go into part 2, which is called The Library. So I'm on about, I think I'm on page 125, so I'm about 20 pages away from the halfway mark. And yeah, this book is just not what I expected at all. It's now turning into a bit of a sort of like adventure type book, like they're away on a wee mission now into New York. This was just not what I was expected. Like, I think I said towards the beginning, I thought he was just going to be working in this bookstore, meeting some interesting characters, maybe some interesting things happened in this bookstore, but this is so much more than I was expecting. And in some ways I'm kind of sad, but in other ways I'm still really intrigued. I think this is the problem with like going in with your own expectations. Like sometimes it can ruin your read for you or just like alter it in some way. Like I'm still really enjoying it. I just have no idea where this is going. I really hope everything's going to get properly explained in the end. That's my one thing, because at the moment I just have so many questions and I just really want to know what the heck is going on and what this is all about. But it's fair to say I'm intrigued, and it's fair to say I want to keep reading and find out. There are some quite interesting characters in this, particularly the people who, with their member cards, were coming to read the books. They're a bit eclectic and odd and bookish, and I really love them. I love how they're written. I think they're really interesting. But in terms of like the main characters like Clay and his friend Kat and that, I don't feel like I'm really connecting to any of them. I'm reading Clay's perspective and I don't know, I just don't feel like I'm connecting to him, if that makes sense. Whereas a lot of the time, like if I'm reading a book, I'll really love the main character and I'll really like want to know more about them sort of thing, but I don't know, I'm just not that interested in Clay. He's just like a normal guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in an odd mood. Maybe this wasn't the day to read this. But like I said, I am still really enjoying it. I still want to see where it has to go. I have no idea what's going to happen with the rest of this book. I mean, I'm not even halfway through yet. And a lot has happened already, to be fair. But I have no idea what's going to happen in the next however many pages. So yeah, intriguing. I'm going to read more now. Hi guys, so I am now on page 200 and 46. So I've officially hit the halfway mark. However, it is 7:15. So that's probably not as good as I hoped I could be today. To be honest, I think I probably had planned to have finished it by now, but I have taken a few breaks just for dinner, to chill, catch up on some booktube, and spend a bit of time with my mum this evening, watch some MasterChef Australia, which we are obsessed with at the moment. So yeah, I have taken some breaks. It's not as if I've been reading that whole time, and like I said, that's why I wanted to do this over a 24-hour period, so that I could take breaks and do whatever I wanted, so that I don't lose my reading momentum. But my plan now is to settle down for maybe just an hour or so and read a little bit more. Hopefully get enough read tonight so that I've only got a small chunk to read in the morning, so that I can definitely finish it before 12. Because I'm determined to finish this in the 24-hour period. Like, there's no question of that happening. It has to happen, otherwise I'm going to be very, very disappointed in myself. But yeah, so right now I am going to pop a little ASMR room on and get comfy on my bed and read a little bit more. Okay, so I'm now on page 203 of Mr Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore, so I am only got the smaller bit to go now, which is quite good. I think I've got about 85 pages or so. So that's not too bad. I feel a bit better now, a bit more on track. I'm really enjoying the plot. I'm really enjoying how everything's coming together. And I'm still really intrigued about everything that's going to be unveiled at the end. And obviously I still love the whole idea about books, and there's this huge sort of theme within the book of immortality through books, which I don't want to say too much about because I don't want to give any spoilers, but it's really interesting, and it's really interesting how that's done in the book. I do think I've figured out what it is about Clay that I don't like. It's his jealousy. A bit too much for me, and it worries me because it's the sort of jealousy that can lead to someone that's quite controlling and manipulative just from past experience. A line on one of the last pages I read was, so his girlfriend, I don't know if she's officially his girlfriend, but they're acting like their boyfriend and girlfriend, was in a meeting at Google where she works, and they had to vote on something, and this guy called Alex, who's a big deal, who's built most of Google Maps, delegated his vote for something to her, which meant he kind of trusted her view or something. So she was like, I think he likes me, he delegated his vote to me once already, which is pretty crazy, I'm brand new. And then Clay goes, I think I'd like to delegate my fist to Alex's face. The guy just gave her a vote at something and he wants to punch him. I really don't like that. I think, and there's been a few lines like that where they've been at some sort of event together or whatever, and she can just talk to a guy and he gets really, really jealous, and I struggle with that. I think that's just from past experience, past relationships, how damaging jealousy can be and how dangerous it can be. So the way that that's coming across, it's just means I'm struggling to like Clay. And I think that is my one problem with him, because otherwise he's quite interesting, he's nerdy, he likes books. What is there not to like? It's the jealousy. I don't like it. And I need to read reviews after I finish this to see if other people have picked up on that and other people have commented on it. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just really sensitive to it, but I just think that reaction is just too much. It's quite aggressive. No, don't like it. Major red flag right there. But anyway, since I've managed to reach page 200, I'm feeling very, very nauseous right now, and I'm kind of struggling to concentrate on the page, so I think I'm just going to make myself a cup of ginger tea, see if I can settle my stomach, and probably call it a day and just chill for the rest of the night, and then hopefully finish the book tomorrow morning. If I get up at a good time, that'll give me a few hours to read the last 88 pages before it hits 12 o'clock, so fingers crossed I can still achieve my goal. Good morning. I have a mushroom on my head. So it is 10:15. I've had a bit of a lie-in, but I really, really needed it, so I'm not going to beat myself up about it. but that means I have an hour and 45 minutes to finish this book, and I have, what did we say last night? About 85 pages left, which is doable. It's definitely doable, but I need to get to it or I'll start to get stressed out. So I've already gone and made myself a lovely cup of coffee. That's a beautiful angle, India. A lovely cup of coffee, so I'm going to sit here, I'm going to drink that, hopefully wake myself up, and hopefully race through these last 88 pages and prove that I can read Mr Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore in 24 hours. Hi friends, so it is 11:50 and I have just finished Mr Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. So I did it, I completed my little challenge and I'm very happy with myself. I feel very productive. That's another book read in November and it's also a book off my TBR. So I'm feeling good. The book, I really wanted to love this. I wanted to absolutely be enthralled by it and I just wasn't. And I feel really bad because I know people were expecting me to love it, but there was just some issues for me. I think overall I would give it a 3 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy it. I really enjoyed the premise. I really enjoyed the adventure, the mystery. I was always intrigued by it and I wanted answers for all the questions that are being brought up. So I was intrigued and I did enjoy it, and obviously I did read it within 24 hours, so it can't have been that bad. 3 stars to me is a good book. It's a good enjoyable book. It's just not a fave. And the reasons for that are mostly the characters. I just did not connect to any of the characters. I really liked a few of them. They were a bit quirky, bookish, especially Lapin, who lives in like a little hobbit hole up a big steep hill. Things like that I really loved. But as I said before, the main character I just could not connect to at all. His jealousy issues really got me. Really did not like that. And his like girlfriend, Kat, I ended up really not liking her either. Especially with some of the things she does later on. I feel like she just used Clay, to be honest. And then at the end they kind of still get back together, so not the best relationship. The two of them I just felt like were just quite two-dimensional. Like I just didn't get enough from them. I just didn't feel like the characters were very well developed in this. And I don't know if that's because it was originally a short story, so we wouldn't have had to develop things that much. But I did really like Penumbra. I thought he was very cute and eccentric and lovely. He was probably my favourite character, to be honest. And I did really enjoy the whole discussion of books versus technology and physical books versus ebooks and the dangers of technology and what we're leaving behind, what we might be losing through technology, but then what also we can gain. And I really loved the ideas of immortality through books and how you can sort of, your spirit, your ideas can live on through writing. I really loved that whole discussion. That's what almost bumped it up to a 4 stars for me. But I think just overall my general feelings, like my general feeling of enjoyment was probably a 3 stars. But yeah, like I said, there were pros and cons to this book. It was not a bad book. I did not hate it. I really enjoyed it. It's just not a favourite. So yeah, that will conclude this 24-hour reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you did enjoy it, then do please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe for more content, comment down below with any of your thoughts and feelings, and I will see you in my next one.